Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Dominique.
Hey,
Hi,
hello.
Herbert. Hi, Ricky.
Hi.
So, it's just an
You're in space, Herbert.
Yeah. The work is my playground.
Last time I tried my computer, I can't put a background on. It won't let me.
Well, you have a beautiful background, Ricky.
Yeah, my house.
No, Ricky, naturally we will talk about ESBG or the action group. What did you want to talk about?
I just wanted to share the latest news.
Sure. Directly after the General Assembly, yeah?
Hello.
I think so. Cyprian, I will not interfere. I'm just a secretary.
Herbert, please stop saying that.
Hi, Suzanne.
You're more than just the secretary.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, Susanna.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm a little bit ill, so.
Hello.
Hey, COVID.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Dorothy. How are you?
Thanks, I'm fine. How are you?
Very good.
Everybody? Very few until now. Herbert is in the space. It's a nice place to
Yes.
be.
Is Chem on the line? I think he is, isn't he? But he's muted his. Yeah, hello. How many people do we have here today? 8 so far.
So I was asked to be here also in the name of EcoCocon because Bjorn is on the way in the car. And also, if there will be some vote or something, and I don't know if Norway is eligible. So also I should vote for
Yes, yes.
Three votes, one for you, one for Katarina, and one for Björn.
Lot of power in one hand.
Exactly,
Björn,
in one house.
Björn is not allowed to vote.
Okay.
Hello, Christian.
Hi, together.
Hello, how are you? Long time no see.
Long time no see. Yes, of course. I'm too busy. Yeah.
Okay.
So Dorothee
guys,
ist auch da. Ich kenne alle Vorstände. Genau.
should we start or should we wait another minute or two for people to turn up? Who else is this? Who's coming? Wojciech.
Wait 4 minutes or something.
Yeah, okay. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum. I'll tell you what I'll do is whilst we're waiting, we have a revised or an updated version of the agenda for today. We were missing an item. I'm going to put it in the chat for you all to see. Hopefully you should get that.
Yes, can you please share the agenda?
I've just put it in the chat.
In the chat. Okay.
See it?
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna give everybody 2 more minutes, okay? At 5 past 17:05 we will start. Because I know you guys all have very busy lives, so it would be nice for you to all go back to your families or whatever.
Yeah, dinner.
Or dinner, whatever that might be. Or what aren't you having it with your family, Mike?
2 grandchildren here.
Okay.
We're busy. Just got back from Ukraine.
Yes.
Lawrence. I haven't seen Lawrence since Saturday. He was also in Ukraine.
Well, I was actually in Denmark, Copenhagen.
Oh, well,
Uh,
I saw you in Ukraine.
that was. Did you hear me well? Because I heard that on the online presentation.
Yes,
okay.
it was a lot better than the Danish girl.
All right. Yeah, she was green.
Yeah. I don't know why that was so difficult to switch off. She was like,
Sorry. Hello, Lawrence. How are you?
All right. All right. That's
Can you
getting.
can you see the agenda in the chat? Because you've just joined, you may not see it. You may not see it. Can you see it in the
No.
chat?
No,
I'll put it.
it's not here. But okay.
I'll
Now
put
I
it in
see.
there again. Okay.
Okay.
So
That
you
was
can see
that was in the email.
it
Some time
was
ago. Yeah.
it was, but we've changed a couple of things just to move
Okay.
them up higher on the agenda. Okay. So Herbert, if it's okay with you, I'm going to start. If everybody could please mute their microphones, yeah, that would be really cool. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is fine. It's really good to see you all. We've got a not so big a turnout tonight, but that doesn't matter. We've got enough people here to get the message through and to feedback and all that kind of stuff. Do we want to record? The meeting is being recorded, Sven. So that will be shared with all of the members after the meeting is done. So, top of the agenda is an introduction from me. And essentially just to say to everyone that we have an important item on today's agenda. We need your full attention. It's nothing drastic, but it's very important for the sake of us moving forward. I'll start off just to tell you that we no longer have our former treasurer, Heinz Michael, and we have a new treasurer, Dominique. So he has proposed to put himself forward. The board have acknowledged that, and we accept it, but we need to put it out to you guys to move it forward. Okay. We will also be going through the finances for ESBA. I think everybody here was at ESBG 2023, and we discussed how we were going to move forward, and there are some important items that we needed to change as a group. Yes. So that will be taking place as part of the agenda as well, and also, and in terms of voting, and also we will be going over through the knowledge and wisdom of Ricky. She'll be talking and updating us with ESBG 2025. And last but not least is the action groups. I'm just going to give a brief feedback, and if anybody has any questions regarding what's happening about that, then please, this is your opportunity to talk about it. But we won't go into too much depth about that, just to be clear. If we've got time, then we can do, but I think the business of each action groups needs to take place in each action group. This might not be the best place for that to happen, but as there's so few of us here tonight, maybe we can, you know, talk some things out. So, first of all, this ESBG 2025, Ricky. I think everybody here knows who Ricky is, right? You don't need to introduce yourself. Maybe we can start off with you.
I'm not actually important anyway in terms of what I have to say. I just lost the logo. There it goes. I wanted to just show you the logo we've been working with. You're seeing my screen? Okay, so this is the
Yes.
logo. We're also working on a smaller version, a kind of more logo version. This is the banner version. The problem is that we have to decide which of the two bales to use for the definitive banner and logo. So we're working on that. Hopefully this week it will be resolved which version of the bale we use on the logo. But I wanted you to get a heads up on that, okay? We've got the theme, straw, the urgent way to a better today. And then I wanted to just show you the program. I believe I showed you a brief mock-up of the program a couple of months ago, but I wanted to get into a tiny bit more details because now we're starting to work on the program. I mean, it's a year off the event, but we want to start working on things. And so I wanted to explain a bit the program to you and ask for collaboration from you and or your networks. The whole reason that we're a group of networks is that these petitions I make aren't to you individually. It's to you and all of the members of your networks. So please share the information. Don't keep it to yourself, which often is a doubt I have when we send out bulletins and newsletters and things. I don't know who reads them or if they get resent. I hope they do. So anyway, in the event, Thursday is going to be the ESBA day. We're going to have the General Assembly in the morning, and then after lunch in the afternoon and evening, we'll have the country presentations. And if the budget allows for it, we'll have some wine and pinchos and tapas and other, you know, little snacky things to eat after or in the middle of the country presentation session. So it'll be, you know, also fun. Then on Friday and Saturday is the main part of the program. I like the way they did in Denmark, so we're repeating the thing. On Friday, we want to spend the morning sessions dedicated to wrapping or rehabilitation buildings. And the idea is to either have several short talks about really interesting projects or developments, or one keynote presentation. We're not exactly sure who that's going to be right now. I've got some ideas, but if anybody knows anybody who's done any really interesting, newsworthy, or, you know, conference-worthy projects that they think we should include in this, or people that they think should be included in the roundtable, because the idea is probably to have more people in the roundtable discussion than are only the presenters. We'll do a round table discussion around the topic of rehabilitation and rapping, and we'd like to know who should participate in this roundtable talk. So I'm really wanting everybody to get back to me on who they think we should include in the program. Most of the people in Spain have no idea, and I'm personally not on the, current, moving in the high stratospheres of straw bale building. I'm more of a working in the self-builder things, and I want the conference to be at the level that everybody wants. So this is where we need collaboration. This is where you, the ESBA members, are going to make this conference great. So please don't doubt to write to me about what you think should be included, or offer yourself to be included in the program. Okay. In the afternoon, the idea is to do an open space dynamic. We did that in Denmark, so I was going to read the description to you now, but it's the open space dynamic basically is a collective agenda. Spontaneously in the moment, people can offer to host debates about certain topics related to straw bale building, anything we want from making it more public, or to solving building details, or anything that we feel passionate about. And then we divide in little groups, and we share about the topics that we want to share about. We don't know yet if we're going to do a products fair, but if anybody is interested in participating and having a stand in a fair, if we do it, then please get in touch with us. I'm going to give you the email after this short presentation, and anybody who wants to participate, let us know, so that if we decide to do it, we get in touch with you, and we'll let you know if we do it. We probably won't make that decision until next spring, if we want to do the fair or not, depending on how everything else is being organized. And the same with workshops. Anybody who wants to offer themselves to give a workshop during the event can please get in touch with me as soon as possible, so we can include the materials in the budget and see what's necessary. We've got a lot of time, so I'm hoping that the program will be fully filled in by the beginning of next year. We intend to open the registration for the event, I believe on the 1st of May was the goal, to open the registration. So we want to have everything really tied down before then. Okay. One possibility in the evening, I'm just mentioning it there, we're going to have a fun time here, is that we might do ESBA's first cabaret, in which everybody can sign up to sing a song, or play the guitar, or tell a joke or a story or whatever. So if we can find some good presenter for this, we're thinking of hosting the first ever ESBA cabaret. We don't know if that'll happen. If that doesn't happen, you'll have some free time on Friday night. Okay, on Saturday, the idea is to have several shorter talks, about a half-hour long, about different aspects of a load-bearing straw bale building. These are just suggestions, what you're seeing on the screen. I know the French people, I don't know if anybody's here from France, but I know the French people are going to publish their load-bearing straw bale professional rules this year. I would really like somebody from France to get in touch with me to include them in the program, to present what they've been doing on this front, or any new testing that's been done on load-bearer straw bale building. And we'll also have a roundtable discussion, as well as some presentations. Okay, so again, as with wrapping, if you know of anything exciting being done in this area, please let us know. We don't know everything. Don't assume we know just because you do. Okay. This is really important. Otherwise, we won't have a program. We've created the idea, but we need to fill it in between all of us. Okay. And then in the afternoon, the idea, and I want to explain this a bit because I want everybody to participate and everybody to share about it. We're going to do a Meet the Project Maker space, which was first talked about in Denmark, but we want to do it a little bit more formally in Spain. The idea is that when you register for the event, we're going to ask you if you want to participate in this dynamic, and we're going to send out some templates or some layout suggestions to create a series of posters for any project that you really want to share with other people. There's always a lot of people that are working on individual projects, whether they're buildings or private homes, that don't have a space in the presentation in front of everybody in the main stage. And we want everybody to be able to share what they're doing and what they're working on. So the idea here is that we make some posters or possibly a short video. We haven't figured that out yet. And then we'll set them up there's a lot of wall space in the place we're meeting, so we're gonna have no problem. We're gonna find a room and we're gonna post them on the walls on Thursday or Friday so that everybody can look at them on Thursday and Friday and even Saturday. And then Saturday afternoon, in a series of rounds, which we'll divide depending on the number of projects presented, we're going to be able to circulate for that space and go to where that person's project has been presented and ask the person who is presenting the project any questions, get in touch with them, ask for details, and that kind of thing, because we really want it to be interactive, this ESBG. And so this space is going to be a chance to meet people who are actually doing interesting work and that we might not know them, because people could show up that some of us that have been around for many years don't even know and are doing really fantastic work. And then on Sunday, we're going to do a tour, probably visiting somewhere between 2 and 4 houses. And that will let you know when we've decided which houses those are. We'll put them up on the webpage. We also have a webpage, but I'm not going to share it with you yet because it needs to be tweaked before I share it on the public. But it's already exists, and we'll soon be able to share something about that. And as a last thing, something else, the 2 things that we really need you to get back to us on are anybody who wants to participate doing main stage presentations or recommending anybody for them, or the roundtable discussions. And the other thing is that we've got this idea that we want to create a video for everybody, which is going to be a video in which everybody in 30 seconds or less is going to say why I build with straw. Okay? We're going to everybody all over the world. I don't care if they're only European in this case, but I hope there'll be a lot of European people are going to answer in less than a minute, at least, probably around 30 seconds, this question, why I build with straw. And then we'll put subtitles with your name, where you live, and what you do. So you don't have to say that during the video portion. And then we're going to edit these videos and make this a longer loop video in which everybody answers this question. And I think it can be really exciting as something that I think can be really attractive to the public in general. So we're going to be getting that information to you probably before the end of the year, and then you can just send in your little video clip whenever you like. The idea is that everybody can talk in their own native language. We've been told by the guy who's offered to edit the video that there's some AI technology which can do video to text. So we're going to try to allow everybody to speak in their native language and use this AI technology to translate what you say to English and put English subtitles on the video. If this isn't possible because you speak some language that AI does not speak, then we'll ask you to offer your own subtitles for your own video. Okay? That's it. I think that's everything I have to say. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I just added in the chat the official ESBG email, which is, I'm answering that, but it's not my personal email. It's an ESBG email, so we don't lose all the information. Okay?
Wonderful. Thank you, Ricky. Are there any questions? By the way, I noted Eileen came in through the back door. Hello, Eileen. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Sorry I'm late. Hi.
It's all right. It's okay. It's good to see you. Are there any questions for anyone? I think Dorothy's your hand up.
I have a wish for the ESBG. I would really much like to share about strategies, how to accelerate straw bale building in sake for climate protection. And
That's-
I think we could learn a lot from other countries, even if they are total different situations. But I think that is really a possibility, or for me, the main reason why I'm going to this this festival, to learn from other countries how about their strategies in the building sector to improve the building sector. And if I will write down my thoughts and send it to the email address you just suggested, Ricky. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm just going to explain right now that that is exactly the kind of topic that we want to bring to the open space. Because that way the other people that have something to say about that are going to join in, and they're going to be really passionate. And the self-builders or the people that have come for other reasons or whatever, they'll go someplace else and they won't be bored with it. And that's exactly the kind of thing that we want to bring to the open space. But I think we're going to do a mixed open space in which if people like you have specific suggestions of topics we want to debate, we'll already pre-include them in the agenda for the open space. Okay? And so it won't all have to be spontaneous. Yes, Susanna, you had a question?
Maybe just a remark that I think that if you have everything already quite a lot of things prepared, that maybe it would be better to start registration earlier than May, and with some little bit discount, because I think, like for music festivals, registration starts the moment one is finished.
In our experience, everybody actually registers for the event in the last month, and there's not going to be any limit into the number of people that can register for this event. There's no, we can have as many people as want to come. So that being the case, we might open it a little bit earlier. The goal is May 1st. If we can, we might open it a bit earlier, but we want to really have everything in place before opening it. And you can still save the date on your calendar and pretend you've already registered, because we're going to make sure that the prices are the same or less than in other events. So just put it on your calendar and register when we open the registration. It's also a lot of work for the people who are doing it if we have to make changes later. That's why we're announcing it with enough time and opening the registration when we think it'll be effective. So, but
And
thank you.
one more thing, yes, that for the video you will have to say what format, if it will be like the what do you call it, like this or like this?
We don't know yet.
Yes.
There's a guy who just last week has offered to organize the whole video and edit it, and he's going to put together a list of the requirements, and he wants what everybody wants from everybody, and we'll probably send that out sometime in the next month.
Okay.
Okay, so we can, once we have that clear, we'll let you know. But yes, it's a good idea. We should definitely decide if it's horizontal or vertical. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Susanna. Are there any other questions in relation to this? No one has their hand up. So, are you okay, Ricky?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Really hope that people start sending me emails about suggesting things that we should include in the program, like I said, because I am not currently aware of everything that's happening, on the international scene. So I really need you guys to spread the word about this, okay? And get in touch with me, okay?
Okay. I think in the next newsletter, in fact,
Okay.
what you're suggesting and proposing is that we put this into the next newsletter.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So Herbert, if you're up and ready, could you just note that so that we can make sure that that request goes out to all of the members? Right. The next item. Thanks, Ricky. The next item is I'm going to hand it over to Dominique and to Herbert. It's regarding the position of treasurer. So just for any of you who weren't listening earlier, and for those of you who joined late. Unfortunately, we've lost our treasurer Heinz Michael, who some of you may not be aware, but he's not very well at the moment. So Dominique has offered to stand in and to become the treasurer. At the last board meeting, the board agreed, but to formalize it, we need to get your votes and to understand where it is that you're coming from. I think maybe it's best if Dominique, if you could unmute your mic. I think we all know Dominique. I think most of you are at ESPG 23, so you would have seen him before. But if you don't know him, Dominique, could you please just say just 2 minutes or maybe 1 minute, a bit about yourself and what it is that you do and where it is you're coming from, please?
Yep. Keep it short indeed. Well, indeed, I live in Belgium. Last 15 years or so, I've been mainly working as project manager on historical buildings, conservation and restoration of historical buildings. But on the sideline, I've always been busy with national building. And then last year, I took the STEP course in Portugal. And for me, that was, Strobil was always my passion. So I thought, like, I'd take the course in Portugal. Since then, I'm more and more international building, and nowadays I'm working on a European project where we try to valorize these chains of straw, wood, and all kinds of natural building materials to have them into a chain where everybody has access to it, and very local and natural building materials. So it's a project of 3 years, which I'm working now currently on for 2 days a week, and so I have some time free to spend on ESBA for helping you out with this treasure problem you are having for the moment. So I like to make straw building bigger, and I think this should be the trend. You know, I also was working traditional construction, but I saw the light. You know, golden straw, so decided this is the way I want to go.
Wonderful, excellent, thank you. So I'm going to hand over to Herbert, who is going to brief everyone as to why it is that we need to change the structure that we currently have, and maybe actually update us on the report, financial report of ESBA. Herbert, you okay?
Sure. Yeah, so Michael Fischer, you might know him all from Vienna and from as a treasurer. He has bone cancer, which seems to be cured, but now he has also Parkinson's, so he is not allowed to do anything anymore, and he's quite weak. Yeah, he has befriended with his fate somehow, and yeah, he has resigned as a treasurer here and also as a co-worker for SBN or for so this is fact. The second thing is that about the address, we had the problem, as you might know, that European Association needs a Belgium address. It's not as easy to change the address in another country, and yeah, Dominic, this is luck for us, offers us both, so he wants to work as a treasurer for us in the board of ESBA, and offered to that his private address, it's not really his private address. I think there's an additional A, so we have really would have an original address, mainly for papers which come from authorities, you know, that all the other stuff is coming usually online. So this is about why we needed this change. The address before was since 2015, the founding of ESBA. Jean-Luc de Wild offered us to have his address. So his address means that he was at this time consultant or something like a manager of PyTech, and but he is no more at PyTech, and since I think 2 or 3 years he didn't want to do this job anymore, and it's mainly forwarding the budget overview of a year to the financial authorities in Brussels. And this is connected with a European ID, which also Dominic has. In Austria, such a thing doesn't exist, and our Austrian ID is not accepted by the Belgian authority. It's a bit complicated, and I hope all this will, be much more quiet and easy at the moment. That's it.
Thank you, Herbert. Okay, so I'm hoping you all understood that. Are there any questions? Because there was quite a bit of information there for most of you. Essentially, what it boils down to, and I'm not going to repeat what Herbert's just said because I think he put it very well. It means that our financial status, our financial position will be stronger. It means we can then invoice members as they requested at the General Assembly meeting at ESBG 23, and we can just get on with doing normal stuff, okay? And with Dominic residing or living where he lives, it makes life a lot easier. So, I think we ought to go on to the voting, yeah? And ask all of you if you could, maybe I think it'd probably be best if you raise your hands because Zoom has decided to update itself now, and the raising of hands isn't very obvious. So if we could please raise your hands if you agree and vote to have Dominique as our new treasurer. I think
Laurenius is a you don't vote, are you? You are not allowed to vote. Thank you.
that is carried. I think the
Yeah.
vote is carried. So
And
well
Germany,
done.
Germany shares a vote. We were both voting for it, but it's together one vote. We share it normally. You shouldn't forget that if you're counting.
Yes.
So we need this official. Sorry. Yeah. So Shemo, for whom are you here? For OSBN?
Shem,
And then
did you put your hand up? You did, yes.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Wojciech passed me as I see the responsibility to represent Poland today.
so then we have Cyprian can vote.
Yes, I think
so
what Dorothy means is that FASPA at Bivena are one vote. Because Dorothy is, I don't know, is Bivena member of?
Bivena is a member, and yeah.
And FASPA is member.
FASPA is a member, yeah.
FASPA is a member, and Bivena is a member. Then we have two votes.
Yes, two votes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Sven is for Estonia is clear. Shemo is in this case now for OSBN.
Yep.
Yeah. Susanna for Arthur and Eileen for the School of Architecture. Yeah. And Vicky for, yeah. Okay, so all voted with yes. So this is easy, then we do. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, everyone. That was nice and easy. The next vote we need to take in is for the change of address. Yes, we've just outlined to you all as to reason why we need to do that. It's a very simple proposal that we're putting out to you. So for those in favour of the address change for ESBA to the Belgium address, can you please say aye or raise your hands?
So it's all, yeah, everybody. So we have the same.
Wonderful. Okay. And the next item, you okay with that, Herbert?
Yeah.
Yep. And the next item was voting for the board's proposition that the president, secretary, and treasurer can make online bank transfers and or submit documents to the authorities in Belgium for single signatories. in the past, it was only the president and treasurer by single signatures. So I hope that's clear for everyone. Yes. Does anybody have any questions? Or anyone
No,
wants to
say that
discuss
again. How many signatories? How many?
voting?
The past was that the president and the treasurer had by single signature could make bank
Payment.
transfers. It's you know that we have a budget of 3,000 euro, and we don't have we cannot go into a minus because we are association. So you cannot harm much if you even if you would be a thief, you could just maybe steal 3,000 euro, and everybody would see that. So we have a budget of about 3,000 euro. If all the organizations pay, then we have 1,500 euro, something more this year. So it's about 4,500 euro. This is our usually budget until we get some funding of European Union or what. And now, as I'm the secretary and I am usually connected with the bank, I also need to sign if I do. So it's not just the president and the treasurer. Naturally, it's also the secretary. This change because I also changed from president.
So is that clear, everyone? Essentially, it now means 3 people have to sign off. What we did discuss before at the board meeting was that we felt if it was under 500 euros, then it's permissible. Are we still going to go with that?
Yeah,
Are we
I
still
think
going to go
there's
with
no
that?
point in waiting for 3 people for trivial sums. I mean, if you
Right.
No,
buy something for 50 euros, you don't need to get 3 signatures.
We have
Sorry.
one. You can do any kind of transfers, even if it's 3,000 euro, it doesn't matter, with a single. So you get the access for this online banking because we don't go to the bank anymore. We have online banking, and whatever you have to transfer, you transfer, and you don't need a second signature. Yeah, and Dominic can do the same, and I can do the same.
Right. So just to be clear, it's anything over 500 euros needs the signature of all 3 parties. The president.
No,
No.
don't.
You're saying
No.
you're saying
No.
no because that's what we agreed. That's what we agreed.
Yeah, that's what I thought we agreed.
That's what we agreed
When?
at the board meeting.
ESBA meeting. Okay.
Really?
Yes.
If you look.
But
I mean, this
Okay.
is why we have these meetings, right? So if there's any confusion or any doubt, then we have the conversation. Okay. So Ricky, if you could turn your mic up if you're still around. Do you remember us having this conversation where we said?
I remembered what you remembered, that we had established over a certain amount we needed. I thought it was 2 of the 3 people that had to sign, not all 3 people. If it was over.
Make it 2 because this is
Okay. Let's make it 2. Let's make it 2 people then. One of the 3. So sorry, 2 of the 3. 2 of the 3. Yes.
so
is that clear?
Which 2? The treasurer and 1, or the president and 1, or what?
Yeah.
Any combination of 2 of the 3 people. That way, if somebody's sick or if somebody's not available, it's possible.
500.
Is that like,
To make transfers of 500 euros or less with single signature,
Yes.
and 2 of the 3 need to sign for greater amounts. That's what I understood in the meeting.
yes.
Yes, that's what I
That
understood.
was what we said. That was what we
Yes.
said.
In
Herbert, are
fact,
you
this
okay
is-
with that?
Sorry, Cyprian, technically it's not possible to do that. What you can do is to inform others and ask for agreement in a mail or whatever. But as soon as you have access to our bank account, you can. I cannot there is one button to push, and this is a identity number which you have to push, and then you transfer money. And you cannot do this for two people. It's impossible technically. This is online banking.
Yeah, I get that. I get that from a technical perspective, but I think
it's really necessary to be precise here, because I need what we decide here. I go with this paper to the bank. I have to translate it by an official translator. And what I need is that all three people now, at the moment, the treasurer, if it changes, then Dominic has the access to online account. And I have it as well, but they still think I'm the president. So we need to define that all three people have the account, and then you get a number and the login. And as soon as you are in with this identity number, you can transfer money, whatever is on the bank account. We can decide internally that over a sum of 500 euro, we need email or whatever, WhatsApp message to the board. And the board, if the board agrees, then we can transfer this money. This would be the technical right. Yeah.
So does everybody understand that? Is that clear for everyone?
Okay. If that's the way it has to be, yeah.
Yeah. Eileen's left the room. Okay, so let's vote, please. So we are voting on that proposal. Is everybody in agreement? Say aye or raise your hand. Who's missing?
Ricky, can I see your hand? There you go.
Where's Eileen?
Dominique.
I don't have rights to vote yet. But I'll put it up.
You do have
Already?
rights to vote.
Okay.
Yes, because you're a treasurer now.
Pass the red tape yet.
Stick your hand up. Yeah.
Okay, that's carried. That's fine. Thank you.
So it's everybody again, then it's cheaper than I don't have the name. Yeah.
Excellent. Right. Okay. So we're
and I have
moving.
to correct you, Cyprian, because for the procedure, first we need to relieve the treasurer before we vote for a new one. And this is by a budget overview, a short budget overview, which I can give you in proxy of Michael. And then you have to, everybody has to say, you relieve the treasurer, then he is out of order, doesn't have any debt to ESBA, and then you usually can vote for a new one. Yeah. So we have to do this budget overview. It's very simple. The last year, at the end of last year, was 3,736 euro. This was still the budget Michael made, so it was end of 2023. This year, except of three four bigger amounts. One was Cyprian with 869 euro. The next one was mine with 564 euro for all the internet stuff. Then Shem 601 euro, and Charlotte with 509 euro. These three sums were transferred for the visits at the European Union. Yeah. Except that in this year we don't have any income of members because we didn't write invoices. We will do this after the General Assembly now, and then we will have at the end of the year most probably the same budget as we had last year. Last year, as you remember, was ESBG, and we had a lot of income and a lot of money to spend. But at the end, yeah, 3,700.
Okay.
And if anybody wants this written, we have this budget officially from Michael for the end of the last year. For this year, we have to do it at the end of this year, and we have to transfer both to the authorities in Belgium. Yeah? And there might be a little bit of fees because we couldn't do that to the authorities in Belgium in the last 2 years. So they might charge us €100 or whatever for being late with our
Okay.
Okay, so everybody now relieves
come,
pressure, Michael. So
yeah. So,
yeah.
so now Dominic is officially the treasurer, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but you have to first to relieve Michael. So, or are there any questions? Do you want more information about our budget?
Where can we see the state of the account? Is it on ESBA website? Or?
No.
Do we have access to it?
No. No. There is this budget overview which Michael sent to Cyprian, and Cyprian published it in the board, and whoever wants this information, the budget of last year, this was the last official thing Michael did, we can send it to all the members, or yeah, I don't care, or we put it on the website as well. And if you agree, Cyprian,
I think I'm quite happy for the members to have that. I haven't got a problem with that. But I'm not sure if it's a good idea to publish the accounts on the website. We're not that big an organization. Yeah, exactly. We're not that big an organization. I think people will think that we're very tiny and we don't represent anything, you know. So I think it's probably best to be transparent and to send it to the members as part of the newsletter, 100%. I think people need to see that, but not
yeah,
on the
maybe
website.
Also, because I remember that was at the ESBG in Denmark, that was I think that was from Netherlands, like raising the questions like, oh, so how do we vote on the on this presentation, but we don't see the numbers, and we couldn't see it before. So it's I have myself, I have no issues or problems. I think this organization is completely transparent, and like energy driven, self-driven community. So nothing here, but just to have it for members, maybe if it's end of the year and it's a financial year, just putting the report official, not maybe what Cyprian said, I completely agree, because maybe some of the, for example, European Union is looking at that and oh, maybe it's a small organization that doesn't give a good, nothing good from that. But just sending to the members as a report would be really good and transparent. And also maybe if it's needed to be voted for, like today, it should be sent out a little bit earlier, that people can look at the numbers and say, okay, everything's understandable. So that would clear things out, I think.
Yeah, usually it's 10 lines or 20 lines in our, it's 10 times €150 for your membership, a little bit more or less for the associate members, as you know. And then there's a little bit of internet website and stuff. This is about, yeah, this year it was €560. This is what we pay for all the different websites we have, training and pro building and the old ESBG 2015 and stuff.
Dorothy, you had Dorothy.
Hmm?
Yeah, thank you. I really would, because it's such a small amount of money, I could follow Herbert. For me, it's clear, but I would propose that before, like Lorena said, before the General Assembly should be sent to each member, before the and written, so everybody can see it and then can come and vote. That's how in Germany with associations it's normal. If we have to release somebody, it must have been sent to the members beforehand meeting. And I remember in Brendo we had a discussion like this because it wasn't written down, and I really would say we should decide that it's obligatory to do it before the next General Assembly. So we don't have to discuss this in 1 year time again.
No, yes. So there you go, Dominic. There's your first task. Right. Okay. Thank you, Dorothy. Herbert, are we finished with this now? Can we move on to the next item?
Yes.
Yes. Cool. Okay.
We haven't, sorry, we haven't released Michael, and I think one of the member has to propose it. So I would propose to release Michael for his work, and now we should all give a sign, and then it's finished.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Okay, so you're proposing, and are you seconding then, Herbert? Are you going to be the second? Yes. Right. Okay, so we're voting. We're voting to release Michael and
Ricky, your hand was, yeah.
to bring on
Okay.
board Dominique. Okay.
Sven, your hand also was, yeah, okay. So it's again all voted for this. Thank you.
Good. Right. So the next item, again, it's about money. The membership fees for full members and associate members. Herbert, it's with you again, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I think this will be the last time you'll be doing this, so don't worry. After today, it will be Dominic.
Yeah, the problem in the past was that Michael said it's forbidden to write invoices, as you remember. It's only allowed to write an invoice to a company. So for associate members, it would be allowed to write an invoice. Now we had this problem, so he didn't want invoices because otherwise we lose our status maybe as a European association. This is what he said. Now we know that the Netherlands, Belgium organization do the same. They write invoices and they don't have problems with it. So we will do this as well, even if we lose our status of who cares. At the moment, we don't get funded. We cannot be a lead partner in a European project with our budget. Every single organization of us has more money than ESBA. So we are mainly here to organize the members and
Thank you, Herbert. So that's an important update because it was an issue for us. You know, we need to sustain and increase our income like any other organization. So this will become clearer become more transparent over time. And thank you, Herbert, for doing that because that must have been a pain in the ass to work out.
You will get an invoice, and I hope you pay this invoice.
Yes,
year.
well, everyone will pay. It's value for money.
Not to get in trouble with me.
It's more value for money than an Oasis ticket, I can tell you that. Right, okay. Next item is so we've actually come to the business of our General Assembly, okay? And the next item comes down to me really in the action groups, just to update you guys as to where we are. So thank you for all of you who filled out the survey. If you didn't fill out the survey, you know what I'm going to do actually, is put in the chat and ask you to fill it out as and when you can, as soon as possible, preferably. Yeah. It's coming your way now. So when you look at the survey, you will see and you'll understand which groups you want to join. If you haven't done so already, I think a lot of you on this call have already done it. So please don't do it twice. because that will confuse things. But yeah, we've already got an overview on it. And I think there was a mistake in the newsletter that went out to all of you. We had working group 4, which is the one which Ricky was looking at, but she's actually technically speaking in working group 3. So I think for those of you who have joined your groups, you will be contacted very, very soon to let you know when the meeting of your group is going to start and the meetings will begin. Please be patient with us, guys, because this is perhaps the most important thing besides building straw buildings. Yes, whether it's with bales or with panels and increasing the supply chain, etc. All of this work within the action groups will really help us to move forward. You know, you're all experts, you're either qualified or you're experienced practitioners, but your voice and your opinions in this is really important. So if you have the survey and you know people who haven't filled it in your association, then please send it to them so that they can get on with it, please. Okay. But what I wanted to do is really, really briefly was just share my screen with you, just in case any of you hadn't seen it before. I'm going to share my screen, he says now. Just to give you an overview, a very brief overview as to what it is that the action groups are, so that you guys have a better understanding and what it is that they stand for and what it is that they do, okay? Because I think and I hope it will give you a clearer perspective, okay? It's not a long presentation, so share your screen now. Bear with me, sorry. Right, can you all see that? Yeah, I hope so. So the proposed themes for the action groups, we've got 8. For the first round of votes or survey that participation that we had recently, some of the groups were large and some of the groups were small. For example, the communication group was just consisted of 2 or 3 people. Okay, please don't be too concerned with that at this present moment in time, because over a course of time, these groups will grow. Yes, it's very important that we just set all of this up and then we can move with it. Okay. The next one, move along, is just an overview as to what happens within these action groups, okay, and what it is going to really come about and what's going to happen. So what we're going to do over a period of time, I would say maybe the first 2 to 3 meetings, although it may take longer depending on when people are available to attend those meetings, but the first 2 to 3 meetings will consist of the groups themselves trying to work out what it is that they need to do, okay? What it is that needs to be done within that specific group. And then what we're going to do, we're going to start pooling, we're going to start getting all of that information together and put it into this, what we call a knowledge center, so that we can then work with that and use that as a source or as an asset, I should say, for us to really get the industry to wake up and move forward. Okay, so it's not that complicated. It's really very simple. The next stage at this moment in time is just to get those groups started. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing that. Just to let you know, a couple of the groups have actually begun, right? A couple of the groups have actually started work. So what you will see is that the action group 1 has started. That's the straw construction standards. And another person on this call, Chen, accompanied myself, and Nicola and Charlotte from RFCP in Brussels this year, in July of this year. we started and went off and began work over there talking to the EU Commission. Another group that has started is Action Group 7. And Mike, I'm hoping maybe he can touch on what he's been doing very recently with that group. I'm going to share my screen because what I want to show to you guys is the work that we on Action Group 1 did in Brussels, because I think some of you will have questions or have had questions as to what it is that we did when we were there. And you can see my screen, I hope. Yes. So what did we do? So in July, the members of the Action Group 1 travelled to Brussels to meet the EU dignitaries, the EU Commission on behalf of ESBA. Okay. One of the groups that we met was the new European Bauhaus. And essentially, it's a 2020 initiative that helps to implement the Green Deal in daily life in cities. It brings together experts from various fields to create sustainable urban solutions. Another group that we met was the European Construction Industry Federation. Now, they are a leading European construction industry organization with a long history. It serves as a key liaison between the construction sector and the European Commission, and it represents employers in social dialogue and policy discussion. Another group that we met was the European Builders Confederation. Now, they advocate for small and medium construction contractors in Europe. Yes, so I suppose they probably are very close to our hearts, as most of us are builders or architects. Yes. Unlike the previous group, it takes less political stance and engages in various European projects. Another group that we met was the European Industrial Hemp Association. Now, as a bio-based material, if you like, these people perhaps are brother or sister in arms. Yes, straw as a bio-based material is not taken as seriously as we would like across the globe, let alone in Europe. And what we were able to understand is that the European Industrial Hemp Association, they have contacts and they have a network that is really quite similar to ours, but because they've been involved within the Commission for longer than us, we realize that they are a group that we need to liaise and work with. Another group that we met was the Director General for the Energy. Yeah, so they call it DG ENR. And this complements the work for DG Grow, another department within the Commission. And in terms of what they do, that in terms of the European policies and regulatory framework, they impact the sector with a focus on measures to stimulate building renovation and improve the energy efficiency of buildings. These people have a lot of weight, okay? And similarly, another group, the DGRTD. So this one is the research and innovation. Now for us, as a group, that is relatively small in comparison to some of the huge organizations around the world. This is really important because we all realize that we need to increase and develop more on research and innovation so that we're able to present to people the data and the possibilities for building with straw. Because for some people, they're not convinced working with straw is possible. So you have to give them and you have to present to them the evidence. And if these people can help us to acquire this evidence, then this is a group that we will need to be working with too. Okay, so that is the end of the show. He says, I've stopped sharing my page now. Let me come out of that. Are there any questions in relation to that from anyone?
Any photos from the
Laurinus,
event?
sorry, hang on a minute, Sven. Laurinus, you had your hand up.
So what was the outcome?
So the outcome is that all of these people received us really well, okay? they were very, very open to working with us. But these are very early stages at the moment. And what we've done, we've completed surveys, we've corresponded with them in the meantime. But what we want to do is to have partnerships whereby we are working on projects together and we're applying for funding together. Yes, because these people are entrenched in where they are. They understand the system and they're there already. So it's still very early days yet. Yes, we don't feel that anything that we want to do moving forwards with these people is going to be blocked or anything of that nature. We're working with like-minded people. That's essential.
Yeah, the people from the European Commission are very open to us and what we do, and they say this is important and that's on their agenda. But it would be wise and better for us to have more power if we unite other bio-based materials. Like that's general signal that we have. But yeah, talking is. But now we need to do some work with organizations around the European Commission, like the hemp organization, for example. So yeah, to unite the bio-based materials together.
Sven, you
Yeah, just asked, do you have any pictures from photos from the event? And did you have a bail with you when you went to the meeting?
We didn't bring a bail. It wasn't necessary. We had all of these meetings were indoors. Yeah, they're within their offices, very corporate, you know. And what we presented to them was a PowerPoint, a presentation, slides. Yeah, just like I did just then. And Chen and Charlotte, they were the ones who were talking and leading on that, and myself and Nicola, and Virginie, and Loic. We're all talking on behalf of it all. I mean, there are some pictures on LinkedIn, but they're not straw bale pictures or anything of that nature. I mean, we did such a brilliant job talking to these people. I'm really, really proud of the guys who were there. You know, Charlotte was fantastic. Shem was brilliant. Nicola was fantastic. You know, they really, really presented a powerful case. And we walked away from that feeling very positive. So, but I think what we will see, we're in September now. I think we will start to see the benefit of that maybe happening early next year. You know, it's very early days, so I have to, you know, just to say to people, don't be thinking we're going to start having money by the end of the year. That's not going to happen.
What do you expect to come from it, Cyprian, when it does start? What are you actually looking for?
Well, essentially, what we want is to have straw to be more accepted within the continents as a building material. Yes.
Sorry, I understand that concept, but I meant from the organizations. What can they do for us? Are they sort of lobbying organizations? Are they financial organizations? You know, how do you see it progressing?
Well, that's a good question, Eileen. Certainly from a lobbying perspective, that's where they're coming from. And that's where we need to be, you know, because we need to be targeting and influencing policy at a high level, as opposed to just, you know, speaking in silos and speaking in an echo chamber. And with these groups, they are affecting that within Europe, within their own groups. And what they've said is that, look, partner with us and we will get you through those corridors of power, essentially.
Okay.
That's what it comes down to.
Good.
Yeah, but yeah, then the main thing is that to get a team, so team up with other organizations to start for European projects or programs. That's the thing that it's reachable for us for now. But in the perspective, yeah, to get funds for our projects, like trainings or tests or other investments in our branch. But the more delicate is then to try to convince on a political level. And then if we are only like ESBA, we are very tiny with really no budget, because like when we come there, they say, okay, it's nice what you do. Yeah, we totally agree, but you're one. And on the other side, we have 300 lobbyists of concrete that are pushing their agenda. So yeah, you have to organize and grow and to team up with others to make a difference. So that's a lot of work and that's a lot of project, and yeah, hopefully to find money to finance it. I mean, maybe money is not the only issue. Like we can, if we team up with organization like they had the hemp organization, they have some possibilities, financial possibilities. So it's nice to have like friends or cooperations like that to push our subjects and our agendas, and to be where we should be, talk with the people that will talk. That's that's very political, and that it's a thing that will take more time than a year, I see. But it's very important to do it.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Yes.
Who's that? I can't see you.
Herbert.
Yeah, is your presentation available?
Sorry, Herbert. Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
so-
It's up on our drive.
What I understood from your reports also before we had these meetings with you is that we need exactly this kind of support of lobbyism, because what we saw or what we see, and this will be defined most probably in the action groups, especially building standards, that there are some limits, that there are some barriers where we are not allowed to build what we would like to build or what others can build, like the XPS in the industry, to name it. Yeah, they have these exceptions. Also, wood has these exceptions of building class E, for example, so they are accepted. All these things will be defined in the action groups, what we need. And there are at least two organizations, what I heard from, which might be in this kind of lobbyism support for us. Financially, I don't expect anything, but I think we don't need much. We can do Erasmus Plus projects. One of our countries could be France, could be as well Austria or Germany has the budget to be a lead partner in Erasmus Plus project, and we get most probably a funding if we do something about building standards or whatever it is. But I think we should wait for the interim results of the action groups, analyzes what is necessary to change, and after that we can decide if we want to do Erasmus Plus project or not. But most probably direct money to go is not available. And yeah, somehow it's clear because the European tools for that are the projects.
Yeah.
This,
Good point. And yes, Jen was right about all of that. Is there any other questions in relation to this? Susanna. I can't hear you, Susanna.
Yes, because I
that's
lost
it.
the screen.
We've got you now.
But I wanted to say that yesterday at the opening of the EcoCocon production hall, there was a president or vice chairman of European Parliament. And he said that in his speech that he can see that they should start removing the obstacles, because that's something that doesn't cost much, but it helps. So probably that's maybe the person also to contact, because he knows already and he has seen this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think all of the politicians or the big decision makers in Europe, I mean, look, I'm preaching to the converted here. You know, there's no point me saying this, because I think you all know this already, you know. But there's no reason why straw isn't such a big player in the building industry, no reason at all. But we know that there are some people who have their own interests, let's put it that way, vested interests, as to why this isn't growing. And I think what we will find, as Herbert said, the action groups will be key to all of this, because there's so much knowledge within our groups, within each association. You know, we just need to put it all together and then just go whoosh straight back out to the EU Commission and say, look, this is what we need to do, and this is where we need to go. Yeah, I'll contact you, Susanna, to get the details about that person, because that would be somebody very good to have as an ally, you know, as somebody who can support us, you know. Does anybody else have any
Yeah,
other
I just want to
questions?
say
Okay.
there is. I've been to several conferences and forums recently. There is an enormous amount of money out there, and there's an enormous amount of organizations willing to pour money into green building, regeneration, sustainability, whatever. Is the EU the only one we're looking at?
Oops, sorry. When you say the EU, do you mean
Well,
the EU Commission?
yeah, what you're talking about.
Uh,
Do you expect
now,
to get funding from?
Sorry, hang on a second,
the
Chem.
European,
Do you mean, sorry, Chem, hang on a second. Do you mean, is it the EU Commission that, are they the only body that we are approaching?
Yes.
In the short term, yes, not in the long term, but in the short term, you know, because as Chem has said, we are a small group. Yes, we can splinter and look out for other opportunities, but, and if you're referring to commercial opportunities, is that what you're saying?
No, but within our Ukraine group, we're looking at 4 different sources of funding, and it's not in the EU. One is the Dutch government, another one's the local government in Austria, and 2 others.
Yeah,
It never occurred to
and
me to ask the EU.
one thing
yeah.
is the fundings, and one thing is the political changes. Mainly in the EU, we were looking for political changes, and mainly to use the finances, we have to have ideas for projects and people to like put it in practice. But mainly what we see now in our group now that we need money for funding for lobbying. So maybe we'll go to find that money in the European projects or somewhere else. But mainly now we went to the Commission to find political ways, political solutions to implement the bio-based materials. So this was the main target. But where to find finances? I think we are open for every. We didn't look specially for that, and we are open for all the options, of course.
Yes.
Like in some European regions, we have different fundings. Like in Eastern Europe, we have this Norwegian fundings that helped us, like in our national recently big project too. So yes, if you have something, we of course will take the money. But the point is how to use them.
Are you asking for money in general, just to have money in the ESBA account, or are you asking to fund a particular project? Surely they're not just going to give you 100,000 euros or 10 million euros.
No, yeah, no. I mean, no, Mike, we're not that naive. In fact, we're not naive at all.
No, I'm not suggesting.
The intent, I mean, I know you're playing devil's advocate. No, the intention is to form a project with these potential partners so that we can then acquire the money to take that project forward. So if, for example, we were to, I mean, this, I'm just throwing this out there. This does not exist, but it's just an example. If, for example, we wanted to say, right, we want to work with the new European Bauhaus, who were one of the people that we spoke to, and they said, look, we have an idea for a community build, but instead of just building it, we want you to engage with these people. We don't actually want you to physically build it. All we want you to do is to engage with it. So that just means spreading the word and lobbying and doing all that kind of stuff. Well, then that, as Chen was saying, will require funding, or you have to be creative around it, you know? It could be whatever means are possible to move it forward.
Okay. I will watch with interest. Okay.
Yes, yes.
I wanted to ask one more question here. So it was initial talks with the commissioners or those organizations you met. So and now you were getting the feedback, and my question is: have you formed already the goals what you want to achieve? Because that's, you know, like everyone wants to promote straw buildings, but in which particular way? What are the actual goals? It's just maybe it's still going to be formed, those goals, those tasks, and for sure then maybe it's needed some funding for that to do for it. But have you already gone through this process, or it's still yet to be discussed?
Well, it's to be discussed. I mean, it's just as I was saying to Mike, and maybe Chen might want to come in and say something else, but it's a very open, it's a blank canvas is the best way looking at this. Yeah, it's a blank canvas. And the thing we took away from that, and I'll say it again, is that these people want to work with us. So we don't specifically have a project in mind. Yeah. What we want to do is to make straw construction much bigger than it is. That is the end goal. That is the outcome. That is what we want to do. There isn't any specific project in mind that we have, but obviously all of those different groups can help us in a different way. So the Hemp Association, for example, because they are a bio-based material, they can relate to a lot of the lobbying to us because they can understand that. Now, the organization to do with the small and medium builders organization, I've forgotten the name of it, they won't be the same. They won't have those strengths. And as Chem said, you know, they will have loads and hundreds of concrete and steel manufacturers lobbying them. So we've got to be creative as to how it is that we work with all of these people. Yeah. Does that answer your question? Yeah, cool. Is there anything else from anyone else? I'm minded. I want to, looking at the time, but I'm also thinking of Mike, if you wanted to say anything about your recent trip.
Yes, I was in Ukraine this weekend. We have been involved in what's called a hackathon, and that's a brainstorming session which will attempt to solve some of the problems of the 24 regions that have asked for assistance in straw bale building. I have a team of 15 people, international. 8 of them are international. Eight of them are international, and 7 are in Ukraine, Ukrainians. Anybody here? Yes, Eileen. Eileen's in the team from the UK. And we are going to be looking at 2 projects. One is one that's specifically asked for, and one is a project which we ourselves have come up with, and that is the training of psychologically and physically handicapped veterans in straw bale building to build their own accommodation and their own revalidation center. And that has received a lot of traction, a lot of interest from a lot of people. And we have to make a proposal on the 23rd of October in Kyiv. And there are several other teams, one of which Lawrence is one. He gave a presentation at the same event on Saturday. And we put together a proposal, and whichever team wins that will get a prize of, I won't tell you what it is, but we'll get a prize. But whoever is involved in this will get media coverage and will get the opportunity to show how they intend to help Ukraine and therefore apply for funding. I say we have funding from possibly the EU Commission, from Burgerland, from the Dutch government, from the Ukrainian government, and one other that we're applying to. So it's all very exciting, and it's only just kind of kicked off from the weekend, and we're up to our eyes in developing ideas and introducing a lot of people into lots of things.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you. Are there any questions?
I can recommend Ukraine as a holiday destination. It is very cheap.
Thanks. Thank you. Are there any questions from anyone regarding this? No? Good. Okay. So that's all clear from everyone. Okay. There are no further items. The only other thing is to ask if there is any other business. Does anybody want to talk about anything that needs to be spoken or talked about regarding straw, preferably, not anything else, just straw and construction?
When I went to the Californian Straw Bale Association in April, they suggested that CASBA and ESBA should talk to each other. CASBA actually represents America, although it's Californian. There's no other alternative in America than CASBA, and they felt that we have a lot in common, and we should be talking to each other about codes and ideas and designs and materials and specifications and so on. And I wonder if anybody else is interested in that.
100% I am. Yeah, I'm talking to people in America at the moment with some ideas. So yeah, let's talk.
Okay, I'm open to ideas of what you might want to swap and share with America, and I'm very much in with the people over there. I plan my holidays around their annual meeting, and I give a presentation on our updating what we're doing in Ukraine.
Brilliant. That's very good. I'm glad you're spreading the word, Mike. As everyone else in this, as everyone else here is doing too, it has to be said. Herbert.
Yeah. I will make most probably on the weekend. I hope I have time. A new newsletter also with the recording of this to the members. And I invite you, if it would be very nice to have a little bit of an update of what happened in your country. So if you could send me a few lines, maybe a photo of what you did this year or what you want to do or something like that, some news from your country or from your organization, I will include that in the newsletter. Hope you find time for that. And I will also include the financial report of Mike.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else or any more? No? Wonderful. Susanna, I think that's the end of the meeting then, isn't it? Thank you everyone. Susanna, get well soon, please. And
thank you.
say hello to Bjorn from us and send our regards. Katarina too.
Yes.
Eileen and Laurinus, and who else is on the call? Christian, Dorothy, Dominique, Sven. Thank you all very much for attending tonight. Ricky, Chen, I appreciate it's an hour ahead, so you're probably all very tired and you all probably are very hungry. I'm going to stop talking now and say good night and thank you all for attending. Okay,
Thank you
take
for
care, everyone.
organizing this well-organized meeting. It was much, much, much better than the last two I had to attend. And thank you very much for this work.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Take
Bye.
care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.